everyone. This is Jennifer. You are watching WRMN 1410. We are on the Wise Coffee Chat Show. Super excited to be here this morning. Before I bring on my guest, I wanted to definitely introduce myself. I am the founder of Wise Alliance Network, as well as I put together networking events, conferences, retreats. I have coaching programs. I'm also a real estate investor. So if you want to learn more about me, go to wisealliancenetwork.com. We love to bring on amazing guests, restaurants, coffee shops, and just have conversations about motivation, inspiration, right? So that is who I am. And I'm here with this special lady this morning, and we are in her beautiful space here in Aurora, Illinois, which I'm actually so impressed by the space. So I'm going to introduce Claudia, who is the owner of Quinta de los Reyes, and she's an active community member. She is part of many chambers and boards. So Claudia, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Jennifer. It's a pleasure to be here in your show as well. And as a woman, I'm very proud of you and all the things you do.
Thank
So
you.
I'm hoping that this connection help us to get together and create something. So go beyond that.
Yeah, one of many, right? I'm
Yes.
super excited. And actually, the reason why this space is right off the river, you guys. And she was telling me that she just created this beautiful patio space that you see right here. Tell us a little bit about Quinta de los Reyes. When did it start? How did you get involved?
Well, as entrepreneur, I've been part of many endeavors, and I come in 2014. I am from Durango, Mexico. To be more exact, it's called San Juan del Rio, Durango,
Oh, wow.
uh, la tierra de Pancho Villa. You know
La
about Pancho
Tierra
Villa?
de, I know exactly who that is. But in case a viewer doesn't know, who's Pancho Villa?
Well, Pancho Villa was a revolutionary guy
Mm-hmm.
that I guess I could say some white folks like him and some hate him because he's the only one that was able to invade United States.
Oh, really? Okay.
So yeah, that will be we will need probably a few hours to talk about him.
We'll do a part two just to talk about the history of Pancho Villa.
Yeah, and since he's a big part of our culture, especially from Durango,
Yeah,
we do have some photos inside the restaurant,
I did see that.
stories stuff. So yeah. But continuing with the restaurant, La Quinta de los Reyes, um, it's been here a little bit over 20 years. Yes, so it's been a while. It's been on its ups and downs, like every businesses. But we're going through pandemic, mini recession, and it's like you never know. There's a challenge happening every year when you expect to go somewhere. There's always something else. So, but this space was created, of course, we didn't have a plan. It was after the pandemic
Okay.
that actually not a lot of people had these big patios.
This is a humongous. How many people can you house in this restaurant?
Sitting Napoli about 150.
150 people here?
150.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's pretty
it looks
spacious.
beautiful when it's full, and we had a full.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
gorgeous. I could see it is open. There's fans. It feels very tropical,
exactly.
which is what I love that it's in Aurora, right? And Aurora is known as the second biggest city in Illinois, correct? Yeah. So what made you bring it close? What made you choose out of all places? Why Aurora? Why not Chicago? Why not another town? Why Aurora?
Well, I was not the beginner. I happened to come after. My other half, Jefe Sanchez, he's the one that started it with some partners.
Mm-hmm.
And while I was busy doing other things, I had a boutique. I worked for insurance for a few years. Then, like I said, 2014, I started helping. But all of a sudden, I realized that this was fun, and I invested my time in here and decided let's do something bigger.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then I made a few changes. We also do catering events. We have our big venue upstairs. We have another small room on the lower level. So
Nice.
I saw big potential for that.
Yes. Yes.
And after the pandemic, then we thought about the patio. But since it was a very big project, who would have thought that, after the pandemic, it was offered to the restaurants through some programs and some grants. We also had to do a little loan here and there. And we decided, let's go ahead and do it. Let's do a renovation. Since a lot of things are happening here downtown, you cannot fall behind.
Yeah.
You have to continue with the trend. So yeah, in the business, everything is a risk,
Of course.
and you have to take it. So we decided, let's go ahead, and we started with bringing some architects from Wisconsin.
Wow.
Challenging
Yeah.
because of the way it was, how we were gonna do it. We went through so many talks, and they came and they did a few drawings, and
Mhm.
finally the masterpiece.
Wow.
As me and our clients are very happy with
Oh, it's a
what we have.
I mean, it's amazing. I came here maybe I want to say maybe about 10 years ago I visited the restaurant, but this wasn't here. I thought it was a beautiful restaurant. And I've always admired Aurora. Aurora overall, I say this all the time. You guys are the nicest people I've ever met in my life, right?
Thank you. We try.
Very welcoming. It felt very homey, and a lot of the businesses are very open and receiving. That's how I felt, at least coming from someone that's from Chicago, right?
Yeah, well, this is most of our downtown businesses are family owned.
Yeah.
So we really put our hearts into our businesses, and we're here most of the time versus some chains that, the owner's not there, just the managers. I'm not gonna say that they don't care because it's their job,
Sure.
but when the owner is there or the family is involved, like you said, Mokomi, you check on the details, the people, they know you.
Yeah.
They come. We have a lot of clients that, been here or been coming here for as long as 20 years.
Wow. So what's your favorite dish? So those that are watching, if they want to come to Quinta de los Reyes out in Aurora and they want to experience a new restaurant, what do you recommend?
Okay, well, we have a market for a Latino community, right? Which is parrilladas.
Parrilladas.
Parrilladas. You can check them on our website, which is www.laquintaaurora.com. And those, I call it the mini buffet.
Okay.
We have for 4 people and 2 people, but even for 4 people. Oh my God, our food is always, I say, humongous. I ask for a plate, and they usually, sometimes 2 can eat, depending on how hungry you are. But those are very good. And I'm not saying I'm just saying for our Latino community, but also, our white folks, you can make your own tacos from there.
Oh, very
There's
cool.
meat, and then it comes with guac and pico de gallo, refried beans or charro beans, tortillas, chips, and of course, You can use
Wow.
the margaritas to go with it.
And we can't go wrong with the margarita.
Not only we have that, we have different types of enchiladas.
Okay.
Yeah, we have red, we have green, we have sweet sauce. We have different dishes, that you can try.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, every time you can come, you can try. Sometimes people don't like to adventure and just want to get like the basic stuff. But I would recommend to adventure and try something else. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. First of all, you're making me hungry. I'm sure anyone that's watching or listening is getting hungry right now, right? Because it just sounds delicious. Now, I have to ask this question. What inspired the art that's behind me, this mural?
Well, this is second. This mural was already there. We had to redo it. And when we thought about renovating the patio, the architect said, well, we got to change that. And I'm like, no, because this was this was iconic since a lot of people have photos with this mural. So we had to redo it. So it's supposed to be Maria Felix.
Oh, Maria Felix,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, and both are classic Mexican artists, actors, actresses, right? My parents used to love watching both of these actors growing up, black and white movies, some color, I think some color, but if you guys come, this mural is beautiful. Tell us what's the address again if someone wants to come here and enjoy the space?
In 36 New York Street in Aurora, Illinois. And we are in the heart of downtown. So right by the river. You cannot miss us. We're across the street from the fire department. And we have a parking lot in the back of a patio. Or you can park in the front. Yeah, right now we're a little busy with everything going on.
Mm,
This is a great view even in the winter.
yeah,
We also have the Christkindle Market in December.
really?
Yeah, the river should be ready by December.
That's wonderful. And what's the website again if someone wants to take a look at the menu?
www. La Quinta, which is LAUUINTA Aurora.com.
Well, I thank you so much for allowing us to have the show here, opening your space for us, bringing us some delicious coffee and bread, sweet bread to have with our coffee. I really appreciate it. And you guys are watching. Make sure that you guys come check out Quinta de los Reyes. Come support Claudia and her staff and the community, right? Because she's very involved in the community. And we are going to take a quick short break, but make sure that you guys come back and meet our next guest. You are watching WRMN 1410 AM. We'll chat soon.
Systems run everything. Government, economy, media, justice. They shape your choices, your opportunities, your future. But do they work for you or against you? On Apolitical Talk Show, we break them down, not to destroy, but to understand. Because if you don't see how the system works, you won't see when it's being manipulated or who's benefiting from it. Power belongs to those who know the rules, challenge the loopholes, and demand accountability. That starts with knowledge. That starts here. Join us weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. as we uncover what's really happening behind the headlines so you can decide for yourself what's fair, what's broken, and what needs to change. Apolitical Talk Show, breaking down the systems to build them up together. Right here, weekdays 4 to 6 on WRMN, the talk of the town.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
They were best friends. inseparable, in fact, until the day Miguel died. Every day his friend visited Miguel's grave. Rain, wind, weekends, holidays, every day. Miguel's closest friend, Capitan, his German Shepherd, is a symbol of loyalty to which we can all aspire. Loyalty. Pass it on from passiton.com.
We are AFGE, the American Federation of Government Employees. We represent 700,000 federal and D.C. government workers who are the vital threads of the fabric of American life. We support our nation's military. We take care of our nation's veterans. We protect our nation's borders. We respond to our nation's crises and natural disasters. We provide services to our nation's seniors. The American Federation of Government Employees. We work for America.
We are AFGE, the American Federation of Government Employees. We represent 700,000 federal and D.C. government workers who are the vital threads of the fabric of American life. We support our nation's military. We take care of our nation's veterans. We protect our nation's borders. We respond to our nation's crises and natural disasters. We provide services to our nation's seniors. The American Federation of Government Employees. We work for America.
And we are back. So it was a great opportunity to meet the owner of Finca de los Reyes, Claudia. She was an amazing guest. Now I have another guest here that I'm going to bring on with you guys that you guys are going to really enjoy. She is actually the former CEO or former operations director of Simply Destiny. She's a mental health advocate. She's an entrepreneur. She's a real estate investor. I mean, all these things, storyteller, author, grandma, glamma, whatever you want to call it, right? We have this amazing person here, Liza Oliva Perez. Liza, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so let's go straight into it. I know we have our coffee here and we're enjoying our coffee, we're enjoying the space. What led you? Let's just go there. What led you to do what you're doing now?
Ooh, that's a deep one.
A light version because we're gonna take a break in a
Yeah.
little bit.
I would say to wrap it up is I lost my daughter in 2010 to suicide. And since that time, I've been kind of on a healing journey and I've learned more about myself and about just life in general. And so the more I dove in, the more I realized that there were a lot of people out there that were going through the same situations.
Which is, I mean, I've known for everyone that's watching and listening, I've known Liza for 8+ years. I don't even know how many years we've known each other because she's an amazing human being, always helping the community. And why I wanted to bring her on the show is because she has a girls' conference coming up. And that is what we're super excited that we're going to be talking about on the air today and sharing with you all. So tell us a little bit about the girls' conference that you're going to be having this week or on Sunday.
So this Sunday, we are having our annual girls conference with Simply Destiny. And basically, it is a day of empowerment. So it's a day that we bring girls together and we do different workshops and different team building activities and just really open up about the conversation around mental health and what that looks like.
Okay, that's all good stuff here. We need more events like this. So why do you guys do all this stuff? This conference is in Aurora, right? Correct?
Correct.
Okay, why Aurora?
This is where I was born and raised, and this is where, you know, my daughter is, and this is just like my community. And so I really just felt compelled to do something here, you know, with the help of my brother. This organization's been here over 10+ years, and we just really feel that there is still a need out here for our young people.
Yeah, there's definitely a need that for young people. I totally agree. So I think that you guys have to come. You well, tell us a little bit. Where can someone purchase tickets for the girls' conference if someone's interested in?
So if you look us up on Facebook or Eventbrite, it's called Rooted in Love because that's our theme for the year. And tickets are still available. We have about 20 tickets left actually. And the first 50 girls that are registered and come in on time get a goodie bag. So it's filled with lots of stuff and just really about like I said, empowering our next generation.
That's amazing. Rooted in love. Where did the word? Why the word rooted in love?
That is a little bit of a reflection from me because this year I've really learned more about my roots and I just feel like if you don't have a solid foundation and that can go so many ways. People that support you, who you're surrounded by, your roots need to be strong in order for you to grow and overcome challenges. And if you look at a tree, it's rooted. And if you think about a tree, it weathers many storms. And we want to teach our girls how to be rooted in love so that they can weather the storms that are coming.
I love it. I love it. And I want to make sure I give a shout out to everyone that's been watching. I know we got Matt McNeil. He's on the other side helping us. We have Nara Diaz, Sonia Delgado. Good morning. We got Los, Mayra Esparza, Angel. So want to make sure I give a shout out to everyone that's commenting and liking on the social media. But of course, with Liza, you guys got to get to know her. When we come back, we're going to take a quick short break, but when we come back, we're going to focus more on the journey, the healing journey, right? Because it can be a little bit rough. And we're going to talk more about her girls conference. And again, we're here at Quinta de los Reyes, right? We're in Aurora, beautiful space. Beautiful location. We're right next to the river. You guys definitely want to make sure we give a shout out to the owner of the restaurant, Claudia, for even letting us use this space and have these important conversations about why we need to have girls' conferences, why we need to have women empowerment events, why we need to be involved in the community, because you're really active in the community, right? How long have you been active in the community for?
My daughter's been gone for 15 years, so literally a little bit less than that, about 13 years.
So for 13 years, you've been involved in the community, supporting the Aurora area, right? Is it only
Chicago too.
Chicago?
Because I'm a Chicago teacher.
She is a Chicago. What else? Okay, so you're also a Chicago teacher. So tell me a little bit about, before we take break, what do you do for Chicago as a teacher?
So I'm a dual language teacher in Hermosa, and basically I have seen the need even in our students. Just little things that we as adults might not think are important, but for them it is.
See, this is why we need to have these type of conversations over a cup of coffee. Right? Even though, sometimes people don't realize it. I think the best conversations happen over a cup of coffee. So you guys, you are watching the Wise Coffee Chat Show on WRMN 1410. Make sure you guys stay tuned. We'll be right back and we'll talk more with Liza about her story and her journey. So don't leave or touch that dial.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan. Brought to you by Progressive. The Elgin Police Department's Explorer Post is celebrating a major achievement after earning third place in arrest and search at the National Public Safety Cadets Conference in California. Competing against 47 teams from 14 states, they brought home the department's first National Team Award in over a decade. College freshmen and their parents can attend a webinar focused on student safety presented by crime prevention specialists from the Naperville Police Department on Thursday, July 31st at 6:30 p.m. The event aims to prepare students for the challenges of campus life, and the program covers personal safety tips as well as drug and alcohol education. Aurora University is moving ahead with plans for a new state-of-the-art learning commons thanks to a $16 million tax-free bond unanimously approved by the Aurora City Council. Although the city is facilitating the bond, officials emphasize that Aurora taxpayers are not responsible for repayment. The university will bear all financial obligation.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Curdan.
At Skechers, we put the S in comfort.
Wait. Skechers put the S in comfort?
Yes, comfort you have to feel to believe. Skechers, we put the S in comfort.
Let me try. Okay, I'm just stepping in and... Oh, wow. Skechers put the S in comfort.
Duh. We told you.
Find Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
What was that?
That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm? I am. Ooma has everything I need to handle the busy holiday season, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
At Britain's Touchless Car Wash, they know life gets busy. That's why they're here 24/7 to keep your car looking spotless, fast, and easy. Their advanced brush-free wash technology delivers a sparkling clean without a single scratch, because they treat your car like it's their own. Here's the best part. Right now, you can get a free car wash just for joining their text club. It's simple. Just text BRITT to 30400, and your first wash is on them. Britain's Touchless Car Wash has two convenient locations, 1923 Larkin Avenue in Elgin and 555 Willow in West Dundee. They're proud to keep your car clean while giving back to our community. Text BRITT to 30400. That's BRITT to 30400. Now for your free car wash, and see why Britain's Touchless Car Wash is the fast, gentle, and reliable choice.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. Today, mostly sunny with a high near 93. A slight chance of showers and thunderstorms before 11 a.m. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 75. A chance of showers and thunderstorms after 1 a.m. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high near 92. Temperatures falling to around 90 in the afternoon. Currently, it is 81 and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
All right, we are back at Quinta de los Reyes in Aurora, Illinois, where they have parrilladas and the best enchiladas in town. So super excited to be here, and we are back with our guest, Liza Oliva Perez. You are watching WRMN 1410 AM. So super excited, coffee chat show here. So Liza, now... I know. Am I getting you nervous?
Yes.
Okay. Don't be nervous. So I know you briefly shared the story of your daughter's passing, and that's what led you, and I'm sorry for your loss. And that's what led you into what you're doing now, right? So share with us a little bit about how you started Simply Destiny and all of that, just so we can start going into that story.
So Simply Destiny was founded after my daughter died in 2010. And it originally started with my brother, who was a dance choreographer for quinceañeras and stuff. And he constantly would tell me that there was a need out there. There was, he was dealing with kids on a regular basis, and they would talk about challenges that they would face in life. And when she first died, he said, we need to do something. We need to have this conversation. And I'll be transparent. I've shared this many times. Is the first couple years I was still grieving. It was hard for me to walk into a space where kids were laughing and having fun and things like that. And one day, I walked in and this girl was crying, and I can say that I was in my stage of anger of healing. Um, and I remember saying, like, why is she crying? Like, what does she have to cry about? Because I was just so angry in life. And I remember him saying, she said that if she weren't here tomorrow, nobody would miss her. And I think for me, that was when it was kind of like that wake up moment, because I was like, I miss my daughter every day,
Yeah.
And so for me, that was kind of my turning point when I decided that this was something I wanted to do. I wanted to be a support system for youth that were going through challenges.
Yeah. And for those that are watching, and what are the 7 stages of grief?
Well, I don't know them all, but I do know anger. I know there's denial, acceptance. But I can remember points in my life where I can go, oof, that's what that was. I was angry with the world.
Yeah, and this is a it's amazing how you took something that was obviously a very painful, and still I'm sure a painful part of your life, but you've turned it around and you're using it to help other individuals, especially specifically the youth, right?
Yeah.
So since the moment you started Simply Destiny, how many youth have you serviced? Would you say roughly about?
I would say over the last couple years, at least 3,000, if not more. I mean, there were times when we first started, we weren't keeping track of numbers, but as we grew as an organization, we had to, apply for grants, things like that. And they would always say, like, how many youth are you servicing? So then that was when we started to really keep track. But I mean, just because somebody comes into the organization and they're part of our program, that didn't mean we weren't helping the family as well, the siblings, the moms, the dads, trying to understand and navigate the mental health conversation.
Yeah, which is a much needed conversation. How do you feel since everything with COVID? How has mental health changed with our youth?
The statistics are already showing that it has doubled, if not tripled, because of the isolation. So, like, a lot of kids were already struggling, staying isolated, and then COVID hit, and then nobody could go anywhere or talk to people. And social, you know, socialness, I guess I'll call it, is, talking to people is truly important. I don't think we really understand that sometimes.
Yeah, it is important. So you got the conference coming up. It's
Yes.
called Rooted in Love. And you said a little briefly earlier before the break, you made a comment that it's part of what you've been going through in your own healing journey. So tell us a little bit about how that concept for the conference was developed.
So the big thing that I'm like an outdoor person. I like to be out in nature. I just my husband took me to Tennessee for my birthday and
Nice.
love being in the mountains, love just seeing life stand still. And if you look at a tree has roots. And depending on how those roots are, it determines how that tree is going to survive. And you can see trees all around us growing 100+ years old, but why? Because of their roots. They have to stay strong in who, their foundation.
Yeah.
And that really just made me think about what I wanted this year for the conference was I want to teach these girls that we need to stay rooted in ourselves. A lot of times, the big thing that I felt growing up was that we learn so much from our parents, and then we think everything that we've lived or have been taught is normal per se. And then you get out into the real world and you find out some of those things weren't normal. And then you sit there and go, wow, well, how does that affect me? Who am I? How do I fit into the world now? And I think when you think of a tree, it weathers many storms. And so we all
Absolutely.
weather storms.
Yeah.
So that's really what the conference is about. The Rooted in Love is just focusing on the fact that we need to teach our young people to stay rooted in who they are as a person, their identity, and just stay strong in whatever life challenges they face.
So if someone wants to join, what is the age range for those that are coming to the Rooted in Love?
The conference is for girls ages 11 and up. So we do different workshops, and they're, I don't want to say G-rated, but they're essentially like something that, they're going to take something away from. It doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, pushing into them like, oh, suicide. This was something that we've encountered many times. People would always say, oh, well, I don't want them to hear the S word. It's like we're not pushing that on them. We're pushing them growth. We're pushing them love. We're pushing self-love, care, confidence, strength,
Wow.
resilience.
I mean, that word is being thrown at them regardless. And they're with amongst them as a mom, right?
Yeah.
I am a mom of 3 girls, right? So I know that those conversations are being had amongst themselves.
You'd be surprised at how many schools don't want that word in the school.
And that's the part, it's like, that's why the awareness is so important, right? Because it's like, wouldn't you want an adult to kind of talk, or I don't want to say the word minister, coach or guide or lead, right? So I think what you guys are doing is powerful because it almost seems like, hey, let's have this conversation because they have little minds and they have thoughts and they want to express themselves. And I think sometimes we take away that from them,
I think the biggest thing is that a lot of times, like I said, we take away a lot from our parents, and so, love my son. My son is 22 years old, but he calls me out a lot and he'll say, Mom, you're not supposed to say that. Mom, you're not supposed to do that. And I think about it and I'm like, but I learned that from somewhere.
Sure.
So then you have to go back. And so I'm very big on generational cycles. And it that's what it is. It's a cycle of what we learned that's been passed down. And it's like, okay, do we keep going with that? Or do we take that conversation and we change it up a bit and make it different for our young people?
Yeah, I can see that. I think it's important to have things like this. And again, for those that are just tuning in or jumping on, we're talking to Liza Oliva Perez on the girls' conference that she's going to be having in Aurora, Illinois for young ladies. And we're definitely excited to learn more about this conference and learn more about what she's been doing. You're also an author, right?
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about that.
I have been in, which one is it? This volume 4 of what is it? Rising Hispanic.
Oh, Hispanic Rising Star.
Yeah, that one. I've been in that one. I've also created a journal that we used for a couple conferences ago that's out there called Vida. And I'm also working on my own personal project right now.
Very nice. So what also are you looking for kids to leave with after the conference on Sunday, especially young ladies? How do you want them to feel when they leave?
I want them to feel empowered. I mean, that's really our goal, is to be able to get them to understand that there's resources out there, that there's help, that there's people you can surround yourself with. I mean, when I met you, I never went networking in my life. And I've realized now, many years later, how important it is to know people. And when you don't know people, you're isolated, you're going through challenges, you don't have the right support system, you're going to feel like life is overwhelming.
Yeah, yeah. And it is actually really important. I like that you brought that up because sometimes people don't realize how much power they have with their Rolodex or just knowing so many people. Rolodex, for those that don't know what it is, it's back in the day
Stop
you
dating
used to
yourself.
have, yeah, I did have this. We had a little rotary thing or a little turny thing with all our business cards, and that's how you kept everything in order, right? But so the girls' conference coming up on Sunday. So I also know that you have a project that you're launching, right? Tell us a little bit about this project. And shout out to Ernie Perez, hubby of Liza Oliva Perez. I see you on social media. So tell us a little bit about Project 51. No,
510.
510. Tell us a little bit about this project that you're launching.
So I've had it in my heart for a while to create like a giving circle. And what I want to be able to do with my upcoming project is pivot. So when I thought of what am I going to call it? Project 510, May 10, 2010 was when my life changed forever. But we're not in a place of grief anymore. We're pivoting from that. And I feel like working in schools, working with all the students that I've worked with here in Aurora, the one thing that I realize the most is like something that we may not, I was a single mom and it was rough. And I remember the times that my mom or my kids would say, Mom, we have this field trip coming up.
Oh yeah.
And then you'd be like, how am I going to do this? Because I don't get paid till next week. You know what I mean? And you see so many students going through life without stuff. And what I really want to do is create this fund to be able to help kids in all the communities, whether it's a field trip, whether it's a coat, whether it's some school supplies. I still remember the phone call Marty got one time where the girl was in a blended family and didn't get school supplies. She was in high school or whatever. They only bought school supplies for the younger ones, not the older ones. And this happens a lot, even at Christmas time. And she honestly told him that she wanted to die because she didn't feel like she mattered because she didn't have school supplies.
Wow.
And Marty went out that day, bought her all the school supplies he could find at Walgreens, brought them to her, and it really just, I guess, opened her up to understand that there are people out there. And that's what you really need is that community. You need those people out there. You need that support system. If you don't have that, you are going to feel like life is overwhelming.
Yeah, and I know that I've watched you over the years and you're constantly doing things like this. Like I always see her post something saying, "Hey, I need backpacks for 50 kids," or "Hey, I need pencils, I need coats." Who has a coat for a 5-year-old kid? Like she's constantly looking for. So now you're making this an actual project and putting a name to it.
Yeah.
Which is Project
510.
510. So just shifting the conversation a little bit, if someone's listening or watching and they're going through, let's say, grief, right? What's maybe from the loss of a loved one or a child, right? What are some words of advice that you would give them to, because I'm sure we're all going to go through this at some point, to some extent. What is your advice for these individuals?
Oh, this can be an uncomfortable one. So what I have learned over the years is you have to feel it. And a lot of people, and grief comes in many forms. It could be a loss of a job. It could be a divorce. It could be, loss of a loved one, whatever it is. But we all go through grief at some stage in our life. And the one thing that I've realized is you have to feel the grief. And most people numb it. They shut it down. And what we don't realize that it will internalize and it will come back in some way, shape, or form. So I think for me, the biggest thing that I have learned is you definitely have to go through the roller coaster of emotions. And if you don't, it'll come back somehow.
And the final stage of grief, right, is acceptance, right? When you accept that loved one is gone. There's also something that I've learned from you is that you can grieve also change of identities.
Oh, yes.
You can also grieve, right, going through divorces, right? Loss of relationships, loss of jobs. I think sometimes people don't have that awareness, right, of like, oh my God, I'm grieving that I just lost this part of me. What would you say about that?
I think the biggest thing is I always tell people when you think of grief, think of it in the way that you lost the life that you once had. So as simple as, like you said, a divorce.
Yeah.
You lost the life of that married woman, and now you're this single person, and now you're learning to readapt to life, and people don't realize how much that truly affects us. And so I feel like this is important to have this conversation because, like I said, then we start to numb ourselves. That could be food, that could be alcohol, that could be drugs. We start to shut down emotions to the point where we don't feel anything anymore.
Yeah.
And then eventually it comes out in other forms, you know. I really just feel like mental health, grief, all that goes together. When I was going through a coaching program and I was, you know, still at Simply Destiny, somebody told me once, when you created this project, you were doing it out of grief. You were working out of grief. And I realized that. And I was like, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
I was doing what I could to numb the pain, to not think about it. And then all of a sudden it came full force and it was like, oh, that's what I've been doing all these years. I've been shutting out those emotions. So my healing journey the last couple of years has been intense, but I'm definitely in a better place than I was.
Wow. So, Rooted in Love is the name of the conference. Again, just for the viewers, if they're just tuning in or jumping on, where can they go if they're trying to, if they want to take their kid? For I think you said you still have 20 tickets
Still got
available,
20 tickets left.
and it's a full day
Full
girls
day
conference.
experience. They get a goodie bag if they're the first 50 girls. They get a t-shirt. Everybody gets a t-shirt. And it's just a day of love, acceptance, foundational skills. Shout out to all the speakers that are coming out and supporting Beautiful Project, who's going to come help with team building. Just, it's crazy to think we've been doing this 10 years now, but every year it gets bigger and it gets better.
What kind of speakers again? What kind of workshops are you going to be having at this conference?
We have financial literacy. We have a workshop on self-love. We have a workshop on AI because that's becoming a new trend. We have workshops for physical movement because your body has to move.
Sure.
Just, I mean, you name it, it's something they'll be there for that.
Wow, that's super exciting. And then what are the ages that someone can register again? It's for girls, but what are the ages again?
11 and up.
11 and up. So you guys definitely now you have that going on. You're launching your project, right? What else is in store for Liza Oliva Perez?
Oh man. Well, first, God only knows what's next, but this was something he put on my heart with Project 510. Obviously, like I said, teaching every day, that's a whole job in itself.
But that is a big job. Yeah. I can see that.
And then real estate investing, that's the next world to try and conquer.
Yes, that's definitely a good one. Becoming a real estate investor. So you're trying to do the real estate investing, you're doing the nonprofit work. And if someone wants to get in touch with you, where do they go? If someone wants to donate, let's just say like, how can someone reach out to you or get in contact with you?
I'm on all social media. So Liza Oliva Perez, which will soon be changed to Perez because identity was one of the things we talked about.
Yes.
So that's something that's part of my healing journey as well. But I am happily married and I need to just accept that that's my last name.
No hyphen. You're going to
No more
drop the hyphen.
We're dropping the hyphen.
You're dropping the hyphen. So you guys, if you guys want to reach out, and then again, so Simply Destiny, what other things are happening at Simply Destiny if someone wants to get to know them more outside of the conference?
So Simply Destiny is located in Aurora on Downer, and it's another free program. That was always our goal, was free, because we know what it's like to have a single parent that can't afford to put several kids in different programs. So it's a free program, and they offer dance. They have a Tiny Roots program, so they're teaching kids how to grow stuff. And they can be located on the website www.simplydestiny.com.
And that's where they can go to look more information on the organization. But Project 510 is
I don't
your
have a website
it's
yet.
it's your baby. That's
Yeah.
something that you're developing now for the community. Where do you teach at?
Funston Elementary in Chicago.
So you teach what are the grades that you teach?
This year they moved me up. I'll be teaching middle school. So say a prayer for me.
Okay, middle school, that's exciting. I think that'll be an exciting age group. You deal with them all the time anyways, right? So they're fun. Okay, so for those that are watching, you guys can check out, look for Liza Oliva Perez on all the social media handles. Go to Simply Destiny to learn more about the organization, right? Look
Yeah.
them up. And then of course the roots and the rooted in love.
Rooted in love.
And any thoughts, any final words that you want to share for anyone that's watching or listening that, you know, might be going through a tough situation and you kind of just want to inspire them. Since this is an inspirational talk show.
I think the biggest thing is just understanding that there's help out there, there's support, there's community. I never truly understood what community was. Like, I do remember growing up, my mom always helping out the local moms, you know, like my
Yeah.
aunts and friends of aunts and whatnot. But I never really understood what that looked like until Simply Destiny came around, because now you have this group of moms that support each other and help each other. And it just really made me realize that you need a community.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a community.
Yes, community building is, I think it's a skill, right? It's a skill, like to build community. You guys have built a community, a strong community out in the Aurora area
Yes.
at that, right? Because you guys are always at the parades,
All the events.
all the
Wherever
events,
they take us.
wherever they'll take you, right? And you're showing the youth, you're showing the kids of this area how to network and build, right? I'm assuming as well. You're gonna show these young ladies at your conference also networking
Yeah.
skills, right? Really critical. So again, where if they want to reach out to you, where do they go again?
They can find me on Facebook. If not, just look up our website, www.simplydestiny.com.
Nice. And then you guys know she still has 20 tickets left.
Yes, 20 tickets left.
You guys want to take your young, I've taken my daughters, how many years? It's been 3?
Yeah, it's been about
I've taken my daughters to her conferences for the last 3 years. They always learn something new, especially my middle one. She wants I think one year you had skincare routines
Yes.
and how to take care of you. I mean, something as you might think of like a common sense thing, but unfortunately sometimes people don't understand how to do skincare correctly, right? So she had actual workshop on how to take care of your skin, and these young girls loved it. My tween, she was a tween, she's still a tween, she loved it, you know, and she took all the creams and used them, right? But these are all life skills that sometimes people neglect. So make sure you guys check out Rooted in Love, follow Simply Destiny, look up Liza Oliva Perez. And then, of course, we got to thank this beautiful space, right? La Quinta de los Reyes out in Aurora, Illinois. Beautiful space. They are known for their enchiladas, right? Come here, enjoy the venue, and just thank you so much. Liza, thank you for being here with me today. And thank you for all the listeners and the viewers for being with us today. You're watching WRMN 1410 AM, Wise Coffee Chat. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for your time, and you guys have an amazing rest of your week.
Most people out here think that taking care of one another is important. And most people would step up for a neighbor going through a tough time. Most people around here help out friends and family when they